What's going on, people? Now, a couple months ago, we touched on the topic mentioning the Chamber brothers. Now, if you missed it, I will pin the two videos you will see at the end of this video. So we talked about the foot soldiers, the lawyers, the women, and even the police officers that Larry Chambers had on payroll. Now, he had kids also. He had teenagers served as lookouts and runners. Now, in 1986, as Larry walks through one of his project buildings, a rough-looking 11-year-old stops him. She asks could she work in one of his crack houses to make some money, but he tells her she's too young and handed her some money. Now, as he walks off, he looks back and sees her standing there dirty with no shoes on her feet, holding the money, crying. Now, some lady in the building overheard their conversation and tells Larry he might as well put her in one of the crack houses because her mother is on drugs and doesn't take care of her. Now, Larry thought about it and gave her a job cleaning his headquarters. Now, she worked 7 days a week for an hour a day and was paid $1,000 a week. They named her Baby Godmother. Larry said she was very smart for her age and caught on very fast. Now, one day, Larry arrived to his headquarters and told all the girls that they had to learn how to put crack on the scales and weigh it. He showed them how to do it, and then he left. When he returned, Baby Godmother was the only one who learned how to use the scales. Now, for her effort, he gave her a job cooking all the coke. Now, she was making $2,000 a week at this time, way more than the other girls. With her earnings, she would return home, giving her mother and grandmother the cash to keep them out the streets. Now, with the money, she was able to buy herself a car at the age of 12, but she was too small to drive, so she had one of the girls to drive her around. Now, Baby Godmother was very dedicated to her job. She was so short that she had to stand on milk crates while cooking the coke. Now, Baby Godmother wasn't the only baby working for the organization. Larry had a 12-year-old boy named Lil Ron. His job was to pat down all of the females, which Larry received a bunch of complaints. Lil Ron also was abandoned by his mother. Now, Larry also had two 13-year-old girls named Boo and Chocolate. Now, after some time being a part of the Chambers organization, Baby Godmother started to get deeper and deeper in the mix. One of the workers stole $50,000 from one of the houses. A meeting took place, and Baby Godmother and the other girls decided that the worker needed to die for his actions. Now, Larry liked the worker too much and decided death wouldn't be necessary, but he should have his teeth kicked out and shot in the legs. Boo and Chocolate wanted to be the ones to handle it. Now, they spotted the worker in the projects, and they went to approach him. He took off running as soon as he spotted them. They shot him in the legs, hands, with a total of 13 shots. While on the ground, Boo hits him in the mouth, knocking his teeth out. One of his legs had to be amputated. Now, this was wreck coming from a 13-year-old. 13-year-old females catching wreck. Now, it's hard to believe, but this came out of Larry Chambers' own mouth. Now, here's another story involving the girl Boo. Now, a lady was complaining about all the traffic going on in one of the buildings and threatened to call the police. Now, Larry tried to pay her, but she wasn't having it at all. Now, Boo wanted to get rid of her by, putting a bullet in her head. But, Larry thought the best thing to do was just to leave. Plus, he didn't even believe in hurting civilians. In 1987, one of Larry's lieutenants was arrested for murder, and the bail was set to $1 million. 12-year-old Baby Godmother went downtown with $1 million in cash, but was arrested and sent to a juvenile facility. Now, when Larry Chambers heard what happened, he sent down a lawyer to represent her, and eventually she got relief, but they kept all the money. Since Baby Godmother broke in one of the commandments, Larry decided to put her on a plane to Mississippi to live with her uncle. And of course, she didn't want to leave, but the move kept the Detroit police from watching and questioning her. Now, a week later, when Larry and Jack entered one of his headquarters, and when they got there, Baby Godmother was sitting at the table eating chicken with a .45 with a shoulder holster. Larry asked her why she come back. She said it was too many bugs and mosquitoes out there. Now, Jack told her she was fired. Baby Godmother wasn't having that, so she stood up and pointed the gun directly at Jack and told him he don't have the power to fire her, and if he keep effing with her, she will blow him away. Now, Larry quickly calmed the situation down and told everyone to meet in Canada. Now, years later, Baby Godmother ended up ripping off a drug dealer for 8 keys and vanished. She was never seen again. Little Ron tried getting into the rap game, but it didn't go too far. And Boo was shot to death inside of a crack house. Now, these were the child soldiers that was a part of the Larry Chambers organization. And if you want to learn more about the Larry Chambers organization, just like I said, don't forget to check out the 2 videos that's pinned. Now, before you get out of here, you know I'm going to have to ask you to hit the like button. Hit the thumbs down if you don't like the video. Before you leave a comment. And you know I can always use some more subscribers, so hit the subscribe button. Peace, everyone. I'm out.